As long as people have been coming to Jackson, Wyoming, the Tetons have influenced their lives. From the earliest explorations of peaks by Native Americans to the more recent groundbreaking feats of alpinism, the Tetons have earned their title, the Crossroads of American Mountaineering. Today, Jackson is home to a broad community, young and old, locals and visitors, those who appreciate the mountains from up close, and those who draw their strength and inspiration from a distance. This diverse group would benefit from a central place to gather, reflect, learn, and physically challenge themselves. A home, a place that is public and private, physical and cerebral, celebratory and sacred. The Teton Boulder Project wants to provide such a venue.
Teton Boulder Project is a grassroots effort of a bunch of Teton climbers in collaboration with the town of Jackson, the Teton County Parks and Recreation Department, to build a climbing park at the base of Snow King Mountain, a place called Philbox Park.
It hopes to incorporate 3 different themes. One of those being honoring the history and the people who have climbed in the Tetons. The second being a remembrance or memorial component to provide the opportunity for people to remember folks who have died either climbing here in the Tetons or elsewhere. And then the third, and perhaps the most important component, is to provide as good a bouldering on an artificial venue as there is anywhere. And hopefully we can accomplish all 3.
Commemorating the history of Teton climbing is something that has resonated both with all the climbers that we've talked to in this community, and then with folks who are armchair mountaineers or who climbed for a period and don't climb anymore, but who are still inspired by the Tetons on a regular basis.
The historical piece is really, really important. If you look at the history of alpinism in North America, the Tetons were the epicenter of North American mountaineering for many, many years.
Over the years, the Tetons became known as a training ground for other places. Those other places included attempts on some of the unclimbed peaks in the Himalaya. That has continued over the years, that concept of the Tetons being a training ground.
The Tetons give us so much on such a regular basis, but they also take away with some regularity as well. And we've all lost a lot of friends up there.
I see the Boulder Park as being able to provide a quiet place at times for one to think about people who have been known to us and are lost now.
It is multi-generational and it's multi-skill level. So we can have a grandparent playing on one area and we can have a little child and everything in between. And that social and civil engagement makes this project really special, and I think it's going to be something that the community is going to value for a long time.
When I talk to my friends who have kids, they're like, how amazing would it be to be able to take your kids?
It's going to provide climbing opportunities for kids that otherwise wouldn't go climbing. It's going to introduce young people to the sport.
I see the importance of the Boulder Park as providing an opportunity for people of all ages to get together in a central point in Jackson, actually the central point, and talk about, where they might go climbing abroad, or what sort of plans they might lay for next summer in Garnet Canyon.
The concept of the project is really a difficult one. At once, it's a very physical thing to go bouldering, but because of the memorial, it has to be also a very sacred space. Rennie Jackson had used the enclosure in his presentation, and we kind of noticed how people really responded to the images of the enclosure.
Rennie says it was put there by Native Americans who probably went up there to do some type of vision quest.
We had the idea of maybe trying to incorporate the formal nature of the enclosure, the circular nature of it.
As the wall of the enclosure curves around, it'll continue out into the main part of the park, and that wall will have the inscriptions of these 12 select achievements in climbing and mountaineering that we have assembled. That is meant to be kind of an open-ended thing, so as to imply, hey, this isn't over yet.
The hill became an opportunity that you can mold the hill without having to bring too much to the site. The amphitheater terraces don't only have to be seating, but they can be planted or treed.
I think that the historical, educational part of it and the memorial part of it make this way beyond just putting something out there as a workout facility.
I think that people see that it will be a real, true community asset.